Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Jim and Frank's Thursday Throwdown!
Jim, hello, welcome to another Thursday Throwdown.
Time for another throwdown, brother.
Yes. This week, we don't normally do this style.
I don't know. Do we?
I don't think
No.
we've had this yet. Why don't you
Okay.
explain what we're doing?
Okay. Well, we're doing Boston, album one,
The debut.
the debut, versus their second album, Don't Look Back.
Don't look at the sophomore effort. Well,
1976 for the debut,
mhm.
1978 for the follow-up, which was almost unheard of. They took 2 years to do.
2 years.
At that time, when Kiss was putting out an album every 6 months,
Right. Pretty
right?
much.
Everybody was falling over themselves to get an album out every year in between
Right.
tours. They took 2 years to do their second album.
And interesting enough, this was the shortest span in between albums Boston ever had.
Yeah, when did what was the last one? Stage 3 came out. Not the last one, but
I'd have to look at it
like
was
4 years after that, or
4,
something,
5,
wasn't
6
it?
years.
I don't know.
It was
Crazy.
ridiculous. Yeah. People had forgotten about him by that time.
Neil Schon had gone on to do other things. He formed an electronics company and was building Rockmans.
Whoa, Schultz, Tom Schultz,
Oh, who did I say?
Neil Schon.
Neil Schon. Oh, yeah, wrong band.
Wrong band.
Tom Schultz.
Same afro
don't-
as the singer.
Right. I don't think Neil Schon makes electronics. I don't think he
No.
has that in him.
I don't either. My oh my. So let's talk about Boston. Did you recognize that the album cover was a spaceship guitar right away?
Yes, I did.
You are very observant that way.
Well, not at first glance,
Okay.
but it didn't take me 20 years either.
Yeah.
Mr. Delgado.
Okay. Well, took me probably 20 years. I'm not saying it was that long, but it was a long time.
Probably shortly after, I was all like, "Oh, that's cool. It's like a guitar.
Yeah.
We're all cities with guitars, whatever
I
they're
didn't-
doing, blasting out from an exploding Earth."
Right.
Right.
Well, we've got 3 singles off this record, and this was boasted by Tom Schultz as no synthesizers were used during the recording of this album. Wasn't that on the back of the record?
Probably. That rings kind of true.
Yeah. So we have More Than a Feeling as a single. Not bad.
Yeah. Amazing tone.
Yes.
Like that guitar just sounded like nothing else.
What was more important in that band to you, Brad Delp's voice or Tom Schultz's guitars?
I think it was Schultz's guitar that pulled me in, but I think Delp is maybe one of the most underrated singers.
Yes.
Like, if you know and if you think about it,
Oh,
I don't think his name often comes up when you say, like, "Oh, who are the great rock and roll singers?"
right.
That guy had amazing range.
He I'm going to tell you what, 1976, I had already been listening to Ozzy with Black Sabbath and Kiss here and there, and Aerosmith and Bad Company.
Sure.
This album is the first album that I ever played air guitar to and sang, because Brad
You're a
Delp,
late bloomer.
I was. Other than the hair, I was David Cassidy, the Partridge Family, probably. But other than that, this is the first rock record that I mimed from beginning to end. Just love the sound of this record.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up the track listing here.
Oh, Long Time. What a fantastic song. And the other single was Peace of Mind, which was a little slower compared to the other.
That's the whole first side.
Yeah.
Those 3 songs.
3 songs.
More Than a Feeling, Peace of Mind, Foreplay, Long Time.
Foreplay,
Play was that big old long
Inter-
intro they had going.
interlude. Yeah. 17 times platinum for a debut album. I think
Unbelievable.
it deserved it.
So let's look at this track listing. More Than a Feeling, Peace of
Right.
Mind, Foreplay / Long Time, Rock and Roll Band,
Oh, yep.
Smokin', Hitch a Ride,
Yep.
Something About You, Let Me
Oh,
Take You Home Tonight.
oh,
Is there any song that you did not hear on the radio?
every song. And I loved every song.
And any one of those could have been a single.
Yeah. We had a friend in high school, Alan
Cosby.
Cosby, excuse me. He loved Boston.
I
If
don't see why not.
if I remember, he would talk about them no matter what band we were talking about. He brought up Boston, and I'm not saying that as a knock. I'm saying that as a guy who just loves some real good rock music.
It's
But
an amazing sounding record.
yes,
People used to give them grief because they said they only knew like kind of one chord progression.
right,
They used to talk about the two Boston songs, the one that came out in 76
right.
and the one that came out in 78.
Oh my goodness,
Because everything on the first album sounded like everything on the second album sounded
pretty
like.
much, pretty much.
I remember speaking of Cream magazine, which we weren't, but now we are. I remember reading something in there about rumor of the year, Boston's going to add one new chord progression to their
Oh my
repertoire.
goodness,
Something like that.
that's great. How long was that first album? What, 30 minutes, 35 minutes?
Let's see. Side 1,
38 minutes.
1734, and side 2, 20 minutes and 03.
Yeah. Pretty
So
odd.
30, 37 and 37, 37, 37.
Yeah. Well,
Kind of long on the second side. 20 minutes is a little long for a side that back in those days. No?
yeah. Yeah, I think so. But my goodness, you're absolutely right. Every song was on the radio.
Yeah, you heard every one of them, and every one of them sounded great.
Yep.
A perfect record.
Oh, pretty much. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't listened to it in a while. I didn't do a re-listen. Do you hear bass on this record? Or was the guitars just so layered that you didn't hear bass? I'm trying to remember if I heard any, and I don't recall.
I went back and listened to the second album.
Okay. Did you hear bass on?
Definitely got bass on it.
Okay. All right.
I'm assuming there's bass on this first record.
Wow.
It's got to be.
Could be, but it could also be a Ride the Lightning situation where they.
Wasn't that And Justice for All?
And Justice for All. That's
they
the one.
turned the bass all the way down.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how much I love Metallica.
So Lars.
Yeah. So we go to 1978 and Don't Look Back. 3 singles off to this album. Now, Don't Look Back.
Just one quick question.
Uh-huh.
Was it Ride the Lightning that went out the window?
Right. The lightning went out the window.
Okay.
Yeah. Cassette. Yeah.
I was just telling my son that story this weekend.
Oh, that's hilarious. Don't Look Back. A Man I'll Never Be, which I don't remember.
Oh, maybe my favorite Boston song.
Okay.
Be close to it.
And Feeling Satisfied. Those were the 3 singles to come off this record. And I'm sure if I listen to Man I'll Never Be, if I listen to it again, it'll come right back to me. But
right.
This record did not hook me the way the first one did, even though I do have it on LP. But my favorite song is not a single, but Party. I love that song. That's a rocker.
And when I was looking at I was like, Party. I wasn't remembering the song right off the bat. And I was thinking, like, is this like kind of a rewrite of Smokin'? But it's not. It's great. It's got that wonderful lyrical hook or lyric hook in it. Good. Don't Look Back. The Journey. You like that one?
Yeah.
It's Easy got airplay.
Right.
Although not a single.
No.
A Man I'll Never Be. 6 minutes, 36 seconds.
That sounds
I love that song. I think it's just lyrically fantastic.
wow. For you, that is interesting.
That is Feeling Satisfied. Good one. Party, you said.
Yes.
It's got plenty of good songs on it.
Right. Used to Bad News and Don't Be Afraid.
Yeah.
Now, this album only sold, and I'm saying only what I would give for this, 7 times platinum in the United States.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a 10 million album drop from the first.
Deficit. And anybody would love to sell 7 million
That's what I'm
records these
saying.
days.
Yeah. I would not mind.
Now it's
that at
all about streams, but
yeah. And I could see some of these songs getting quite a few streams.
do you
But
think people had moved on a little bit? Like, oh, they didn't put an album out.
after 2 years? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And because it did sound so much like the first one, they did not change too much to keep you interested, maybe. So there's
Yeah, it's a tough call because some people will say like, oh, they changed, so I don't like them anymore.
right.
And then other people would say, well, I don't know, sounds just like the last.
Sounded like the last one to me. So I don't know.
Were you talking about AC/DC putting out the same album 13 times or something?
I
like
expect that from them. Yes.
that? Yeah.
I don't know. I think
I think
The
it's
whole-
a solid record.
it is, and it's solidly produced. Tom Scholz produced it just like he did the first one. He definitely had that Rocktron sound, just layers upon layers. I wonder how many layers of guitars are on that thing, because it is as thick as can be. So I don't know. And I think you froze up. No?
No.
Oh, you just
I'm looking at the track listing while you're talking here. Sorry.
wow, I bored him to death. I froze his computer.
When you hear the snoring sounds, then you'll know.
Then you'll know. Okay. Well, what are we going to do? We're gonna do this throwdown. We have a debut that sold 17 million copies, and we had a follow up, three strong singles on each of them.
Solid on the second record, but I got to go with the debut.
Yeah, same here.
Sounded so fresh at the time.
I agree with you, and I just think the songs are just a smidge better on the first album than they are on the second.
But most bands, their sophomore effort suffers because they've had a lifetime to write the first record.
Exactly.
And then who knows how long to write the second record. These guys had 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I
It's
said,
not bad, but it's not as brilliant as the first, I don't think.
I love Brad Delp's voice. I'm just so sad about his ending, but man, he had the ultimate rock and roll voice for quite a while there.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah.
The whole band is solid.
Yeah. And this
obviously.
Never got to see them live.
No, me either.
I know they were, I think, on the festival route for a little while too, because I remember seeing them in a lot of photographs playing outdoors in stadiums and whatnot.
Did you ever hear Barry Goodrow's solo album?
No.
Oh, it's good.
Is it?
It's good. Yeah.
I have to check it out. Oh, well. We've got ourselves a knockout this week.
Yeah, I think a knockout, man.
Boston debut. What about our listeners?
What do you like better?
Yeah.
And while we're at it, for crying out loud, just smash the like button. It only takes
hard is it?
seconds, man.
Yeah.
And just say 1 or 2. You don't even have to write "Don't
Boston.
look back" or anything else. Just 1 or 2.
There you go.
Comments. Let's make it as simple as possible.
Yeah. Well, I think as far as this one goes, number 2 was a number 2 compared to number 1.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. All right, Jim. Let's wrap
All
up.
right. We'll see you next week.